Hey, did you guys see this? Diamond distributors want everyone to put a little corner box on their books to basically virtue signal their way back into the industry. We're going to get into that. Downcast Rise and Fall is on Indiegogo. Still, we're getting down to the nitty gritty of the campaign. It was looking great. There's only a few pages left, and I mean a few. I think there's 3, maybe there's even 2 pages left of line art to do for Downcast Rise and Fall. It's been amazing. If you haven't backed it yet, check it out. It's in the link in the description below. We're gonna hit 36,000 here pretty soon. I think we're gonna get it. All right, so maybe you saw this. Diamond aims to rally industry with comeback plans for May 20. So they're coming back. This is what, next week, Wednesday, or next week. Our comeback will be bigger than our setback. First off, though, isn't it a rule that you're only supposed to use like 2 fonts or 3 fonts max for some kind of design? Overall, this has literally every line is a new font. Hashtag hire a letterer. Beyond that, this plan is absurd. I think really what you're seeing are 2 things. Okay. If I'm being completely cynical, it looks like Diamond wants every publisher to put this ugly thing on their book to prove that they're with Diamond. Okay? That's if I'm being completely cynical. They want to enforce that you're going to go with Diamond or you're not going to be printing books, and everyone else is going to shame you because you don't care about the comeback of comics if you don't put this crap on your book. So if I go down here, though, that's me being cynical. But Steve Geppi actually literally says that. He says right here, well, technically, I haven't asked them. He's speaking to the publishers. Geppi said, I'm trying to use a little peer pressure here. Yep. And that, in a nutshell, essentially is how the comic book industry has been run into the ground over years. Peer pressure. It's using peer pressure to try and make business ties what they are. That's not how things should work. You should be going to Diamond because they're going to offer you the best deal. They're going to fix the problems that got us into this mess in the first place, not out of peer pressure. That's ridiculous. I really hope that some of the big publishers are not putting this on their book, because this is signaling something, that Diamond is the leader in the industry. Diamond should not be the leader in the industry. They want publishers to put this on their books, and at the same time, Diamond is not going to fully pay them for those books. Do you see how absurd this is? This is insane. Yeah. And again, so here's my beef is not that Diamond is in business still, question mark. They can still do their thing. My problem is that Diamond assuming the role of leadership in the industry is a mistake. And I don't think anybody should be following Diamond as the leader in the industry. Diamond, in their place, should be working hard to try and have publishers' business. DC's already looking at, they are going to be going through other distributors. That's great. I think more publishers should be looking, and there should be more competitors. And hopefully this did it. Hopefully this was enough to get other distributors in the works. Distributors that are going to actually market the books and actually listen to the publishers and the retailers and try to give them what they want instead of trying to control everything themselves, which is exactly what Diamond is doing. Again, this is mafia tactic level insanity. Now, the problem, it's not what the saying here. Again, this is how virtue signal works. What? So, Sweetcast, Clint, you have a problem with the comeback of the industry? This is just a positive statement. You have a problem with that? Steve Geppi was full of positive statements on his live streams. That's all he wanted to do, was just say it was about passion. I'm so sick of hearing that word. It was just about passion, and people care about comics. And, we've been through a tough time, and we're going to get better. This is all messaging. You have to understand, this is messaging. This is not an actual plan. What this is it's trying to weed out which publishers are going to be with Diamond and which publishers are not going to be with Diamond. There will be consequences from this, peer pressure consequences, and it would not surprise me whatsoever if Diamond is going to treat publishers differently. I'm going to throw that out there right now. Prove me wrong. Uh, yeah, this is ridiculous. Also, the shirts that they have, it's just this massive block wall. I just hate the t-shirt. Anyway, so I'm not being negative to be just for the sake of being negative. Like initially I heard that Diamond had a plan for a comeback. That's what I had been asking for, was a plan. So I was expecting some kind of like step-by-step basis, some kind of like, this is what we're going to do to improve things. And I was very hopeful about that. Now I am actually looking at it, and this is a one-step plan. The plan is to get publishers to put this on their books, to make t-shirts so they can, you have to wear these t-shirts that says comics nowhere on it. You have to be so into comics to know, like, oh, looks like the Comics Code Authority, which is not something you'd want to emulate. uh this looks like the Comics Code Authority. Oh, this is about comic books. It doesn't say comics anywhere. So making things as obscure as possible. This is for insiders. I also wonder too if, average Joe comic book fans that are just, drop into your comic shop and you buy stuff. Maybe you're not on Twitter, you're not following YouTube or anything like that, but you like comics. Are you even going to know where this came from or what exactly this means? I mean, you could make some assumptions on a very basic level. This is really about the peer pressure, as Steve Jeppy said himself. This is about the peer pressure to try and get people to do it. All right, here's some quotes from him. He said, "I do believe our comeback will be bigger than our setback." That's just fluff. That's what Steve Jeppy said. "Setbacks are always negative, but driving us now is the knowledge that our comeback will be awesome. Because if you say it's awesome, it's going to be awesome. That's all that matters." Uh, here's the problem. The way that the comics have run so often is that there's a small pool of opportunity. There's just a small pool of good, and rather than grow the pool and add more water to that reservoir, so to speak, it has been trying to hoard it to yourself and try to manage it and be the gatekeeper of this pool. That's the way that comic books work. And so if Diamond Comics can control that little pool of water, if they can, all the opportunity, all of the good, all of the money that is left in comics, rather than try and grow that and address the problems with this ever evaporating pool, they're going to just say, hey, we're in charge of this, and you better wear this on your books. You're going to now print this on your books. We don't care what has gone to the printer already. You're going to print this on your books if you want us to distribute your books, and if you want to show who you're really with, which is Diamond. Yeah, this is a competition thing. This is not about fixing the industry. And I just don't think Diamond, Diamond of all people, they should not be telling publishers what to do. Not now, not ever. All right, let's see. Comeback. It's about peer pressure. When the boxes arrive for the May 20 books, I don't want it to be just another box. I want it to be an event, Jeppy said. The boxes will have a big label for the comeback of comics, and inside there will be a letter from me to excite them, because this is all just about positivity. I'm going to be encouraging them to take pictures of the box, the unpacking, and the reopening. As part of the comeback, Jeppy and Diamond will be raising funds for the book industry charitable fund, which is BINC, the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund. See, so this is also how virtue signaling works. You attach your goal and your motivation, and you attach it to charity, because if you do that, again, you are beyond criticism. It might be your fault that comic books folded as an industry in 2 weeks. In less than 2 weeks, the comic book industry buckled the knee. But that doesn't matter, because you're giving to charity as long as people say that they're with you. You see how insane this is? This is textbook virtue signaling. This is blowing my mind. I want to know what their reaction is. That could be a whole other video from publishers if they're going to actually do this, or if they're gonna put Diamond where they belong in the back seat. I, this is just insane. All right, so yeah, they're donating all this money, and here's the end of the article. It's almost a contest now. How does our industry recover versus another? Let's show them who we are. Let's show our passion. What did I tell you about that word passion? Passion means nothing. Give me a plan. All right, Jeppy said, you watched us shrink and shut down, but now is our chance, all things being equal, for us to muster up. So many people have predicted the death of comics, but we're about to show them who we are. All right. Bankrupt, maybe? Is that who we are? Uh Man, this is insane. It's not the death of comics. Don't This is the thing. Making the medium and diamond the same thing is a mistake. It might be the death of diamond, but it's not death of the medium. Comics are awesome. I'm going to keep making comics. I know a lot of publishers are going to keep making comics. A lot of creators are going to keep making comics with or without diamond. They don't get to decide that. But if they can make themselves synonymous with comics, then they can guilt trip you into keeping their broken business afloat. This isn't about them. This is about every creator out there, every publisher out there. If you're making comics, good on you. You don't need Diamond's permission to do so, even though they're going to use peer pressure and they're going to use basically SJW tactics of virtue signaling in order to try and enforce you to do it. You don't need to do it. It's not about them. Okay. And I think there are better routes to go. So there's my opinion on this giant yellow box. I think it's laughable. It's ridiculous. Yeah, and I would not put this on my book if I was a reputable publisher. I really hope that everyone else follows suit because Diamond is not the leader here. We needed a new leader in the industry. Diamond is not it. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Let me know your comments below. Please like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. Would love to have you on board as a subscriber. Appreciate it. And I will see you next time.